Hi everyone, welcome back to WHU TV. I hope you're keeping well. It's nice to see you once again, and I hope you're keeping warm in this relative cold snap that we're going to be having for the next day or so. But it is meant to be relatively nice weather by the end of the weekend for the Villa game, which is fantastic. But we're not here to talk about Villa. We're here to talk about West Ham's first ever trip to Cyprus, and more specifically the AEK Arena to take on AEK Larnaca in the first leg of the last 16 of the Europa Conference League. 5:45 kickoff UK time on Thursday afternoon, live on BT Sports 3, and we will be doing the watch along after all. As always, this video is sponsored by the channel sponsor 3retro.com. Please click the link in the description below that will take you directly through to the West Ham section of their website. And as you can see from the icon that's up here, there's not only nice retro gear in there as well, but there's also Admiral and Umbro track jackets, polo shirts, sweatshirts and t-shirts, so go check those out. Any purchases you make through the link in the description below, the commission that the channel would normally be getting, as I always do, I'll be sending it on to the charity in the Newham area called Iron, supporting food banks. They're helping people in the Newham area and also in the Essex County and further afield over the last year or so, well, last few years actually, to help people that are really struggling to have food on their tables. So guys, go grab yourself a really nice retro shirt or a nice polo, track jacket, sweat jacket, whatever you want. You'll be saving yourself a few quid in comparison to the club shop, and you'll be helping those that are less fortunate than you and I. So guys, the prices are reasonable. I know it's very difficult at this time of year for everybody, especially with the way that the domestic prices are. But if you can go and grab yourself a really nice shirt, you'll be helping somebody to put food on their tables. So what more do you need? Okay, so as always, guys, let's talk about the officials first of all. Now, apologies if I get these names wrong. The majority of the officials are from Norway and the assistants are from the Netherlands, so apologies in advance if there are any non-Larnaca, non-Cypriot or non-West Ham people watching that and get offended by my pronunciations. I'm English at the end of the day. The referee for the game is Eskin Eskas, I think you pronounce that. The assistants are Jan Erik Angan and Isaac Elias Bashkevin. The fourth official is Christopher Hagnenis. On VAR, we have Rob Dieprnik, and his assistant is Jerion Manshot. Christ, I hope I got all that right. Now, who exactly are AEK Larnaca? None of us have ever heard of them before the draw was done. I don't give a shit what people will say in the comments. We genuinely never heard of these guys before. If you're not bothered about who they are, then there's timestamps in the description so you can jump around to whatever section you want to watch. But for those that are interested, the club's name comes from the ancient Greek city of Kition, I should say. I think you pronounce that, which was located on the site of today's Larnaca in Cyprus. The colours of the club are yellow and green, like it is with Norwich and the old Man United colours, and their emblem, I should say, is Admiral Kimon, who died at the seafront while defending the city of Kition around about 450 BC in the fight against the Persians. Now, when someone says that and you have the Persians, 300 comes to mind. It really does. The club was formed in 1994 after a merger of two historical Larnaca clubs, EPA Larnaca and Pezoporokos, I think you pronounce that. The club also has a men's basketball team, a women's volleyball team and a men's futsal team. The capacity of the stadium itself is just over 8,000. Larnaca were in the Champions League but couldn't make the playoffs as they drew with Midtjylland, I think you pronounce that, you know what I'm talking about, in both legs. So they dropped down to the Europa League where they won 4, drawn 3 and lost 3. So they basically had 15 points, so it wasn't enough to keep up into the round. So they dropped down to the Conference League where they beat Dnipro 1-0 at home and drew away 0-0 in the away leg, I should say, to face us. Their squad has an average age range of just 26 of the 35 players compared to our average range of 28.1 average age from our 22 players. We are playing a squad that, I'm not going to lie guys, when I was doing my research for this all, Transfer Market shows that roughly the cost of their club, the cost of their entire 35 players is just over 14.25 million euros. That's mad. It's absolutely fucking mad. The entire squad costs 1, maybe 2 Premier League players. Just let that sink in. You know, it's a weird one. But this is the reason why. Larnaca are top of the Cypriot First Division of 14 clubs, so their 26th league game campaign is obviously finished. They've won 18, drawn 3 and lost 5, scoring 46 goals and conceding 25 on 57 points. Highest goal scorers at home and second highest goal scorers away. And in their league victories, it shows they are number 1 in the home games and 4th in the away games. So that kind of gives us a little bit of confidence, but not a huge amount at the same point, which I'll come on to in a minute. The top goal scorer in all competitions is Ivan Trikovsky with 3 goals. But at home, Altman is their highest goal scorer with 2 goals from 3 appearances. I think that might be just the Conference League. I'm not 100% sure. Their style of play details are very hard to come by, but they do seem to be a team that like to attack down both wings, more specifically the right rather than the left. They shoot through the middle, and most of their attacking threat is in and around the 6-yard box. But they do also concede shots through the middle, down their left-hand side, and also in the box as well, which we'll come on to when we're talking about the starting 11. Now, under Spanish manager Jose Luis Ultra, their European formation seems to be mostly a 4-2-3-1, so a slight variance on the 4-3-3 that I think we should be playing, especially to the strengths that we've got in the side, such as it is. Will come in very, very handy, and again, we'll talk about that with the starting 11. Now, goalkeeper Paraskevez, apologies again if I'm mispronouncing it, is out with an ACL rupture, and left winger Gamma seems to be out from recovering from ACL surgery. Defender Garcia is suspended for this match after picking up many yellow cards, especially after being sent off during the 2-1 loss against Fenerbahce in the earlier rounds. And Rosales, Mamas and Faraj are all at risk of missing the next game if they are booked. Now, players to look out for, guys. Really struggled with this, really struggled. But for the information I've been able to gather, Altman is obviously, he's their highest goal scorer so far by the looks of it. So Garcia as well, and also Alta Unjui, I think you pronounce that. Both Garcia and this guy are also very, very high on the aerial duels winning list. So we need to be absolutely spot on with it. Now, because I don't know anything about AEK, and to be honest with you, the majority of you guys won't either, there's no Patreon analysis, so there's no going to be in-depth review of the opposition, because that's about as much as information as I could possibly find out for them. So instead, let's now turn over to West Ham. Now, this couldn't have come at any worse time from one point of view, especially bearing in mind how crap we were against Brighton away at the weekend. Completely undid, genuinely, every stage of the game. We completely undid all that hard work in that 20 minutes of the Forest game the week before. So we completely wiped out that impressive goal difference change that we made. Football's been absolutely shocking. This has been a long time coming, as we all know. But at the same point, guys, we really, really need to mix things up. Now, there are rumours that Moyes and Nolan have actually fallen out in relation to some things in questioning Moyes' tactics. So I'm not surprised in any shape or form that that's the case. But they are rumours, and it doesn't seem to be 100% justified yet. I know, of course, that Clarence Hugh reported it, but I haven't seen it from any other reliable source. And of course, all the content's been made on this platform has been as a result of that Clarence Hugh article. So yeah, it's not brilliant from that point of view. But at the same point, guys, let's get back to the game itself now. As I say, when it comes to the starting 11, which we'll go into in a minute, I've tried to put out as strong as possible. Ogbonna and Downs are at risk of missing this game if they are, missing the home leg if they are booked in this game, which is one of the reasons why they don't start in the starting 11. Fabianski should be back in early April after his eye socket surgery from the injury he picked up just after the Forest game. Kehrer missed the Brighton game because he was out with a fever apparently, and he's 50% chance of returning for this fixture. and also Antonio is also having a bit of a recurrence of his hamstring problem, which kept him out of the Brighton game as well. Now, Cornet is building up his match fitness as he played the first 45 minutes of the under-21s defeat to Man City at home on Thursday night. Soufal is very possibly out with his heel injury still as well. So let's now talk about the starting 11. Now, as I said, guys, I've made a few changes which are needed. Very, very difficult to try and figure out exactly what changes to make, because as I said earlier, we've got a 22-man squad. It's not easy to select from that. Basically, what I've done is I've gone with a 4-2-1-3 formation, basically. But this is the starting 11 that I know is never going to happen, even though I was massively surprised that the starting 11 I put out for the Brighton preview was picked 100% by Moyes. I don't think I'm going to have 2 for 2. I really, really don't. I've made a few changes, and this is the starting 11 that I would like. I don't think it's going to have happen in any shape or form, but I think I would like to see on Thursday night.
Areola in goal, with a back four of Johnson, Zuma, Aguerd and Emerson. Rice and Souček in the defensive midfield positions, with Ings playing the second striker role behind Bowen, Scamacca and Benrahma up front.
Now, one of the reasons why I've done this, and I don't normally do, I'm doing this because I go into more detail with the Patreons, but as there's no analysis of the opponent fixtures, the opponent team sheet, I don't really see why we should be doing it for the Patreons. It's unbalanced, but basically I've gone with Danny Ings as the second striker behind Scamacca. I think we really need to have a nice balance of attack and defence. Now, obviously having Souček in there alongside Rice in the defensive midfield positions, we can have Souček up alongside Ings, supporting Benrahma and Bowen and Scamacca, and I think that would be it'd be a great test to see if that will work, because we can flip into a 4-4-2 at any given point and still have a really good attacking threat in there at the same point. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, I really want to know what you're thinking, and for that matter, as I say, we will be doing the watch along after all, so we'll be live from 5:30 on Thursday afternoon. So come out, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't already done so. Please do like this video, and if you have subscribed, make sure your notification bell is set to all in the notifications, so you get to know when we're going live, because I think this is going to be a very entertaining game. That no disrespect to the Larnaca squad or fans, if any of you are watching and can understand us. But I do think this is a game that can really boost the confidence of a certain few players and the fan base as well, for that matter, albeit maybe temporarily before Villa on Sunday. But in the meantime, guys, look after yourselves. I hope to see you on Thursday night, and look after yourselves. All the best now. Take care.